Yes, Hickok 45, your internet shooting companion, coming to you from the green hills of Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee, the home of, this week it's got to be Alvin York, right? And look what I have, 03 Springfield. Yes, the ghost of Alvin York and the rest of us are glad you're here this Sunday morning. It's good to have the regulars on board, as usual. Don't miss now. So again, it's a Sunday morning video, a different sort of video, yakking and shooting. Okay, so get ready. If you're new, this is not a regular, well, maybe it's regularly irregular. So yes, I thought I'd bring out, especially since I forgot to talk about Memorial Day last week. I posted a pinned comment about that. And then D-Day, of course, this week, coming up. So I need to get out some military firearm, since I have quite a few. And I thought the old 03 Springfield would be appropriate. Yeah, this one is an early one, World War I model. And you've seen it before, I hope. And it's in the serial number range of a little bit over 1 million. And I have always enjoyed it. I do shoot the A3, the World War II version of this, a little bit better, you know, with the rear sights back here and all that mounted. If I had to go to battle, I'd probably choose it, but I like this thing. It's such a classic, need I say that. And y'all that have seen it in the videos know, you know, the finish, kind of green, is just really nice, really sweet. So, yep, got it out today. Yeah, I guess mostly Garand was carried, you know, of course, D-Day coming up, but a number of things are carried, and by somebody, almost anything that's available that has been made in the last 50 years gets utilized, doesn't it? You know, the old 1917 Smith and Wesson and Colt, you know, 45 ACP revolvers are a good example of that, and how they saw a lot of service in World War I, World War II, and on up. And wherever you need handguns that don't have enough 1911s or whatever. And same with rifles. Everybody didn't have an M1 Garand. Still a lot of these being carried through, well, World War I, of course, World War II as well. Well, yeah. So, yeah, it's neat to fire this old thing. 30-06, in case you didn't know. I was going to put an extender on it that I forgot, and I have to really watch break my nose or my thumb there. That's why sometimes you see me shooting with my thumb like this when I'm actually ready to fire. It's get that knuckle out of my way, out of my nose. So I like to get my face back a little bit further away from it. I shoot better too, see the sights better. Pretty nice rifle, very sweet. So yeah, glad you're here. Don't forget the Hickok 45 Clips channel. Remember, it's a different channel, but you're seeing just clips of me mostly, and then John too, some videos, clips from original videos. All right, original videos. There's still a lot of people don't realize what that is, but I'm enjoying watching what John pulls out from the video library. So I'm reminded of a lot of the shenanigans that we've been involved in, a lot of the things we've done, shooting from a tractor or just whatever it might be. So, and then some of the firearms we've had around here, whether it's a Glock with a switch or whatever it is, you know, of course everything we've ever done is perfectly illegal, and most of the time it's not one of ours. There's the owner with paperwork on site there and all that kind of thing. So you all know that though. And yeah, anyway, pretty cool. So yeah, Dad was at D-Day. I've told you about that, and all that. He carried a Remington Rand and different times, and a M1 carbine. He was in a truck company, and it was all over northern Africa, up through Italy, and of course England, in time for the big event and in different places. But this is, again, so sorry I didn't have some of these really cool firearms before he passed away. But I had an M1 carbine, but I did not have like an .03 Springfield or M1 Garand, and he'd pick them up at gun shows, you know. Yeah, I remember that, you know, or an M1 carbine, you know. But anyway, 30-06, pretty potent round, huh? So what else? Anything else you're dying to know about? Yeah, I was thinking about this gun and guns like this, you know. It's so neat to have them, the old firearms, and you have to wonder how many decades it'll be okay to bring them out and shoot them or to own them, you know. And it's easy to be pessimistic about that. No matter how hard we fight for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, I tell you, I always hope the pendulum will swing back, you know, and things will correct. But sometimes I can't help but be negative about that when I see so many people, especially in the younger generations, of course, who have no experience maybe with firearms. And I mean, how many people, oh, I don't know, and I'm not picking on young people. There's a lot of people who do not fall into this category that are under 30. But how many people under 30, if you stop and ask them to just give you, I don't know, what they know about the Bill of Rights? You know, what do you know about the First Amendment, Second Amendment? Who's John Adams, Thomas Jefferson? Just some things like that, a basic civics lesson or question, and what they think about the Second Amendment and the purpose of it, and why did the Founding Fathers think that way? What caused them to think that way? What did they know about human nature and history that led them to write the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, you know, right at the top? You know, so that's the problem, as I see it. Not as many people even interested in how the country was formed and the purpose. So, you know, the ingenious principles behind it and all that, I just think a lot of people, more and more people, that's what concerns me, just want whatever they can get out of it, you know, freebies and that kind of thing. So we'll see. I won't be around, but hopefully the Republic will endure, right? Don't mean to be a pessimist, but I am a realist. It's hard to know. So let me shoot the thing again. Yeah, when did I have the Model 70? Was that last week? The week before? I apologize for bringing bolt actions out a couple of weeks out of 3 or 2 out of 2, whatever it's been. I apologize. 2 firearms that take a 30-06 clip, but it just worked out that way. I wanted to bring it out. Yes, sir, Bob. This is why I was pointing out about the Model 70 I have, made in 1940, how it's like an .03 Springfield, a military rifle, because that's what this is. This is a lot like a military rifle, right? Ooh, one of those awful military assault rifles, I bet. I'm not sure enough where to hold to hit the plate, probably, but I'll try. Okay, held right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. I think that tree has fallen some more. Yeah, I believe it has. I might have to cut that down. It's just leaning against another one there. Fall on me. How about a bowling pin here? I got 2 bowling pins with 1 bullet. That ain't bad. I wasn't even trying to do that. I see an orange 2-liter down there. Do y'all see it? Wow, vaporized. Let's see if it'll vaporize this one right here. Okay, there's that same lesson I keep giving you all. It came up here, landed right behind the target stand. Yep. Bullets make things do strange things. They cause unusual behavior. in objects that are filled or have a lot of water content, put it that way, right? And you know what that leads to, what I'm getting at there. Level, yeah. And while I'm talking about it, let me thank the people that make this little holster, and cool belt holsters and purse holsters, phone holsters, you name it. Alabama Holster, great company. I forget what state they're in. Oh yeah, Alabama Holster. They do a great job. You see me wearing them all the time. All right, what else do you want to know about? I load this thing. Oh man, I'll tell you, politics are just crazy, aren't they? I try to stay out of party politics. You know, partly because, well, I'm more libertarian than anything. So if I were to talk a lot of party politics, I don't know, I'd be coming from a libertarian point of view, you know, against the other two major parties, you know, in a lot of ways. And we all have to make decisions when it comes time to vote, no matter what's going on, of course. But I just, did you see Robert De Niro last week come out? I just, I hate to see celebrities, actors, really big name celebrities that we all have known and loved for so many years, watching their movies or whatever it is they do, singers, you name it, come out and alienate 50% of the population. It's like, why do that? Do you think you're helping your party or something? I guess you do. I don't know, it's just, when that happens, I understand they're just another guy, another gal. They can, you know, say what they want to do. It's just, wow, it's just not how you know them. They're, you know, I lose respect, especially for De Niro. I mean, the dumb things he was saying were just the usual, you know, calling somebody an idiot is going to destroy the world, the state, the city, the state, the country, and the world. And I mean, it's like, what kind of drugs you been on, you know? If they would come out and with a logical argument, you know, an intelligent argument against or for a particular politician, you know, like I think so-and-so will make a better president or senator because he or she has supported this policy, that policy, and that policy, or these bills, and these bills we can see the result, and what has been the result of those policies has been positive, and just be intelligent about it, you know, instead of just come out name calling, and really a bad look on him. But anyway, lots of politicians and singers do it on either side, and so just let the chips fall where they may, I guess. So let me shoot this thing. I don't want to get too much into party politics. I worry about anybody that wants to be in politics. You know, it's hard not to, isn't it? Although there are some really good people, a few really good people, okay, that are in politics. All right, let's shoot some more of these things. Big old 30-06 rounds. In case you forgot what they look like, that's 5 of them right there. I should finish my bowling adventures. This whole thing rocks. How about a Kentucky 2-liter? Yeah, buddy. How about a gong? It's a pretty hard. And we got one for this bowling pin right here. It's hanging on a wire. That is a pretty gun. Pretty gun. Yeah, I was going to say earlier, I shoot these firearms. Maybe you would not. Maybe you think I should pack them in Cosmoline or oil and not actually use them. But I don't know. I feel like it's, as curator of some of these, I need to fire them some. I'm not going to wear them out. Need to fire them. As I said, I am not optimistic that anybody's going to be allowed to fire these in 100 years. Sooner, later, yeah. And I'm pretty much an optimist on most things. We'll see. Some of you will be around to know, right? You might be able to answer that question better than I can now in about 50 years, where we are with freedoms. Okay. What a beautiful rifle. I like it so much better with that extension, I have to say. I messed up. And I want to, if it's a firearm I really like, I want to really like shooting it. That's why I put an ugly rubber pad on them. To me it's worth it to, when I bring that up, oh yeah, I know what that feels great. In fact, when I put that extender on there, see, I am more likely, I'm reliving what a soldier in 1918, would have felt when he pulled it up, to shoot. That sort of length of pull, to fit him. So if it doesn't fit me, it's not an accurate feeling, shooting of it. So does that make sense? Just rationalizing, right? So, yep. Oh man, I've been having fun the last day or two trading cars. Don't you love doing that? Don't you love doing that? I mean, I tell you, under the best of circumstances, dealing with cars and dealerships and all that, you know what's coming. Whether it's the sales pitches. I have no major complaints about this experience, but you just know what's coming, and when it comes time to do the paperwork, you talk to the financial people, what they're going to try to push and all that kind of thing, and you have to just, okay, bite your tongue, bite your lip, and bear it, unless you just order on your phone from Carvana or somewhere, like I see the commercials. So I guess I told y'all, I got I've been in Yukons, since 2017, I guess. And this third one, because of availability, I ended up getting an XL, the long one. Okay, if you're familiar with big, like, Suburbans and Yukons, they got the standard size, and they got the one that's about that much longer. And they don't need an XL, but the one came in that I kind of wanted, and they were hard to come by. It's the Ultimate in Denali, and yeah, give me more room. And we had one of those back in 2005 or something as a family and everything. And so I bought it, test drove. Yeah, this ride's great on it. But for the last year, not every time I get in it, but so often I'm in a parking lot, the parking spaces are not long enough, and it's just, I call it the bus, I love the car, love it, but I've threatened to trade. I don't know, I'm not going to keep this one for 2, 3, 4 years, I don't think. I'm not going to be able to. After the Dallas trip, in the parking garage, and I had a crazy situation in a parking garage at the Sheraton, downtown Dallas, and like I never got up around. If it hadn't been for the mirrors, I wouldn't, or the cameras, 360s and all that, I would never gotten through this crowd of everybody coming down while I was going up and different things. I said, you know what, that's it. I am going to look to trade. I know it's going to cost me more than it would in a year from now or two, but I'm doing it maybe. And so that's what I've been doing. Got this same car, standard size, and just drove it home, in fact. Yeah, I'm happy. This is one of those first world problems, right? Where you trade cars because one's 15 inches too long for you or something like that. You wouldn't think it'd make that much difference. But when you've got a vehicle that's already pretty big, yeah, it really does. It really does. It brings up another pet peeve of mine, are gas stations where you go, you've seen some of those, a lot of them these days are gigantic and there's room, but there's still a lot of those where if you pull into the pump and you've got a pretty big car, you're either got your nose stuck out in the middle of, right where people are going to be backing out to leave or driving through, or there's just no room. Take a really small car to solve that problem. But anyway, again, first world problems. I'm glad those are my biggest problems. I hope they're my biggest problems. And then how to hit with this rifle without a lengthener on it, a stock extension. And I've not shot the paper yet. And you know what's going to happen, because there's a lot of blast So I'm going to back up. I'll make sure I don't get behind you all because I don't want to accidentally shoot your ear off. So I'll get back here so I don't blow it over. We'll see if it works. Hey, this is a new perspective. I bet you all looking down the barrel. Yeah, that's better. Let's shoot it again. Yeah. I should know better. What, about 1 out of 4 Sunday videos, I blow the paper off there. Caught on fire one day, didn't I? Oh, there's a gallon jug down there. I forgot about it. It was a gallon jug. There's a 2-liter. That one came back too. At least 10 yards. Now I can't really shoot. I don't want to shoot Clyde with a 30-06. He doesn't deserve that. How about the propane tank though? Ooh, yeah. That is quite a rifle. That is nice. It is nice. Yep, I like it. I like it. My grandson, Davey, was here this week. We had a big time. We sure did. It rained a lot, but we had a couple of days where it wasn't too bad. And he's a character. We had some things left over from that zombie movie. Some arms and a head and some things. And he got the bright idea. He wanted to bury it in a gravel pile. I got a gravel pile. And he created this thing. He's just 7, but it looks like the guy's head is sticking up out of the gravel pile and his arms are down here because they're just fake arms. Imagine that. And they're not attached. Anyway, he had so much fun with that. I'll tell you, what a guy. And of course, I'm egging him on, so there you go. Kids are fun. Kids are fun. Many of you have kids or grandkids or great grandkids or whatever. And I've been around a lot of kids teaching for 29 years, and nieces, nephews, my own, and everything. So they can be a lot of fun. It can be a headache, can't they? But they're a lot of fun. Rugrats. So I guess speaking of that, I should have some advice for dumb kids, right? From a dumb adult. That's right. Dumb advice from a dumb adult. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that advice. I had a note. I mean, I like it, but I don't know. Think of some advice. Do I have any advice for young people that I really want to mention? How about just one of my common themes? Try to avoid being envious of people. You know, that is, boy, there's no future in that at all. It breeds all sorts of weird things where you can end up hating somebody because they're smarter than you are. Boy, I'd be in trouble, wouldn't I? What if I was like that? I envied people who are smarter than I am so much, or to the extent that it morphed into hate. Gosh, how do you hate everybody on the planet? Yeah, I'd have so many people to hate. But really, people prettier than you, more handsome than you. Is there a future in that? Or there's always going to be a bunch of people that are more handsome than you, smarter than you, prettier than you, right? And, try to keep in mind, there's also always going to be people, what? Uglier than you, dumber than you, just the way it is. We're all somewhere on that scale. But envy it's really not based on the fact that that person is gorgeous, and I'm not, or a person's smarter. It's a lack of self-esteem, isn't it? It's you worried about comparing with that person, because there's always somebody that's got more than you, more ambitious than you, more intelligent, prettier, and all that kind of thing. That's just so, let that go. That is so dumb. Life is short. I don't feel sorry is the wrong word, I guess, but you know what I mean when I say I feel sorry for women females, girls, young women, whatever, because so much of their ego is wrapped up in their looks. And that's partly our fault, right, guys? But wow, they spend their whole lives, so many of them, trying to be prettier and their hair just right, all that every day, and it's just such a job, really, isn't it? And while we ugly guys, we just get out of bed and maybe wash our face and go out for the day, or even we take a shower, whatever. I take mine at night mostly, but most of us don't, spend 30 minutes putting on makeup. Now, 22 Plinkster might, 10 Outdoors 9, who else might do? No, Suits probably does, yeah. No, we guys, we're kind of fortunate, aren't we? We're fortunate in a lot of ways because there's less pressure on us to be prettier than we are. I'm just really fortunate because I'm so pretty to begin with, right? But anyway, yeah, that old envy thing, there's no end to that. It also gives people an excuse sometimes, I think if you're some of that has got to be born out of a person's own lack of ambition. If you just envying other people and thinking they had the advantage I didn't have, and if I looked like them, or I was born in the same city they were, or I was a stronger, whatever that you perceive, then I'd be as or more successful than they are. Whatever's going on. So it's easy to make excuses. So don't forget that. That's important. I'll have a quiz next week over all that. Okay, let me shoot 5 more. Can I? All right. I just had a thought. I want to shoot this gun so I can be a tough guy, like Robert De Niro. I've seen all his movies. He's a tough guy. I didn't know he was such an idiot. And I'm not talking about his politics. I'm just talking about him, the way he acts. All right. If you're going to be political, try to be intelligent about it, just a little bit, at least an attempt. Okay. What should I shoot? Let's put another one on paper. Back up. Yeah, I like that. All right. Bowling pin. What have I not shot? I've wiped out everything. Let me find that buffalo over there. Yeah. Wow. Rocking. Nice. Let's stand on the gong. I don't know what I did in the last 2 shots. I pretty much have figured out where to hold. I've got a little bit of white paint on the end of the sight there, and other than struggling with the the length of pull there, I like it. I'm liking that one more and more. When I first had it, the first 10 years or so, I did have a lot of trouble. I was trying to use the ladder sight and everything, and I just realized just leave it down, put a little white paint on the front sight, take a fine bead at about 6 o'clock, and generally I'm going to hit what I want to hit. So. And just a beautiful rifle. Beautiful, beautiful. I promise to take care of it. Okay, so I'm gonna let you people go. And yeah, just, I don't know, go do my thing, whatever that is. I know one thing I had to do with this car, and that is set up, the cars are so complex now with electronics that by the time you get, it's just, there's always more to it. It's like buying a new laptop and a phone some way, smartphone or a laptop. All right, you get to start over. All right, what drivers do I need to install? What software do I need to download, and all that kind of thing, And cars are becoming the same way, aren't they? So if you're still driving a 59 Chevy, maybe you're better off. But it's just that double-edged sword. There's so many, the capabilities are cool. This has Super Cruise on it and all that. And it does everything but make breakfast. but you got to figure it out and set it up, get the radio set up and all that kind of thing, every time. So I'll be a few. Well, it should take just about an hour or two, but for me, it'd probably take about 6 months. Even the one I traded, I just figured out when I was trading that, oh yeah, it had what you call it, all park assist or whatever. It'll parallel park, do all that stuff kind of on its own. I never tried it or used it, whatever. But anyway, I would another point on that. I think every time I have a car, trade cars, it crosses my mind because I just can't have people come and test driving cars and do that. So I pretty much have to take the loss, a trade kind of thing. And here I am, on the tube all the time, but I don't like to just sell stuff or talk, that's not kind of what we do, but I'm tempted. Y'all just keep in mind that, year or two, you check with me, whenever, if I still have that car, if it's for sale, I would love to sell it to somebody that's looking for a car like what I have. It's just, that just brings on a whole another world of issues. But I always wish there was somebody in the family, someone I knew that's looking for the car that I'm about to trade or sell, that kind of thing. It doesn't seem like there ever is. And, because boy, I do take care of them. I take care. Every 5,000 miles, I'm back for the oil change, tire rotation, and then pretty much anything it needs that's recommended. I would, if I were buying a used car, I would want to run into one of my cars, put it that way. And then I scan all the receipts, the service record that I get, and keep it in a file, and so I just take care. I always assume I am going to have this car for the next 30 years. That's the way I am, and take the best care of it I can. So much I can't do, don't know and don't really care to learn, but there's things I can do, like keep all the service up to date and oil change and those kinds of things. And there was something else about that I was going to mention, and it flew right out my ear. But yeah, I like to take good care of a vehicle. It's my horse, it's your horse. If you have a car, even if it's an old one, whatever it is, or even if it's a junker, what some would call a junker, but it's what you drive to work every day. It's like your horse. I mean, you really rely on it, don't you? I mean, it's, and you I mean, it's an inanimate object, but you do, I mean, you develop a certain level of trust in a vehicle and appreciation for its soundness. And if it's I love the Yukons, I love them. And I mean, they're big enough for me. They got plenty of leg room and head and everything. I've just learned to love them. But you really, it's your horse, modern day horse that you rely on. And when it takes you to and from work or wherever you're going over and over and over, just repeatedly, months and years, without breaking down on you, other than maybe a low tire or something, you just, you develop a love. No, you do develop a fondness, don't you, for it? And they become an important piece of machinery, something you rely on, just like one of these. It's going to work. It's what you want. They're like a 1911. Some people won't like that. They're like a Glock 19, right? Anyway, I'm quit rambling and let you. You can tell I haven't been drinking. I'm a little giddy from just dealing with the cars and dealerships and all that kind of thing. And I am so glad you're here on this June the 2nd. And don't forget about what happened on June the 6th when that rolls around. And if you're not aware of what happened on June the 6th, there's some great videos, I'm sure, and there's movies. Even those things that open up that have words in them, you could read about it, books. But big day, and big war, right? Big war. It's amazing what people went through during that time, and the scarcity of things, the difficulty that they all came through it for the most part. I mean, people died, but in the war especially, but back here home, the shortages and the massive effort to support the war. Just a very interesting time, in American history. And you never know when something, big, some big event is going to happen, right? It's often a surprise, and often comes out of left field, something that we don't expect, like a few years ago, right? So we probably are not as tough as those folks were back in 30s and 40s. I'd say for sure. Most of us are not that tough. Most of those people that were fighting in World War II, they were what? They were teenagers, or living through the Depression. So they'd been through it. Some of them had been through World War I and the Depression, and then World War II. Can you imagine? What if you were born in about 1910 or something, and you are 5, 6, or 7 or something when we're involved in World War I, with a lot of issues, and then another 10, 12 years later, the Depression, and that goes on into the 30s, up through the 30s, and then World War II up until 45. So you could born in 1910, just think, or 1905, whatever. Just think of what you have gone through in your 30 or 40 years of life. It's not even 1950 yet, so it's wild times. Someone might be saying that about us in 50 years. Who knows? Okay, rambling too much. I really appreciate your support. Again, I was glad to run into all of you all. It was great to see you in Dallas, and I always enjoy I ran into 2 or 3 of you today, just around, and it's always good to meet you. And Culver's, my wife and I just had Culver's coming back from Nashville, and the family sitting right there, when they finished and we finished, they got up and he's a viewer of the videos. But it's great to run into you all, and appreciate you watching the goofy stuff that we do. And it's not just that we do this goofy stuff, we record it on camera, and then we're dumb enough to even post it on the internet, on this platform called YouTube. So I'll let you go, and I'll hug my R3 Springfield a couple of times as I clean it, and tuck it away for another day. Okay, 30-06 Springfield R3. That's what it be. Nice old rifle. Life is good.